Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub.
And this is Adeen Asad Yaqub.
Both of us are going to demonstrate IELTS speaking part 1. And I'm going to ask Adeen Asad Yaqub some questions and she's going to answer.
Yes.
Are you nervous?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, Adeen, before I ask you any question, I would like to ask you, how did you get this confidence? Like, you are in front of the camera and you're not nervous at all. So how did you gain this confidence?
Well, practice makes perfect, as they say. So I've been recording with you since a long time, as well as I remember about 4 years. When I was 10, it was the first time we recorded a video, right? So after that, you also made a couple solo videos of mine. From there, I gained confidence, and then previously, I've been doing a couple presentations too. That's where I got the boost, and now I don't feel nervous at all.
Okay, so it means it's practice, and whatever you feel nervous about, or wherever you lose confidence, the situation where you lose confidence, try to do it as often as possible.
Yes.
And you will become confident.
Exactly.
I got it. So Adeen, we are going to start with IELTS speaking part 1. What's the best way to tackle IELTS speaking part 1?
Well, it's not like you just try to get it over with. You answer it with patience, and make sure your answer is no longer than 4 to 5 lines and no shorter than 3 to 4 lines. Make sure you're on the topic and your vocabulary is wide, so that will make a good answer. And maintain an eye contact with the examiner and a good little smile. That'll keep you confident. Right? And then make sure that your answers are to the point, and yeah, that's pretty much
All right,
it.
this is good. So I would like to ask you a few more questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes students don't get ideas. Examiners, they ask certain questions about magazines or about their favorite food and they don't have ideas. What should they do in that case?
Well, when you speak about things, when examiner asks you questions, you should just take it as a regular conversational thing between you and just another ordinary person, not an examiner. So if you think that you will have answers, but you'll have to speak the truth. But when you think about all of this stuff, I tell you, in part 1, part 3, and the entire IELTS thing, it's not important that your answers are based on reality. You can fantasize them. Just imagine stuff that's not possible, that the examiner asks you something and you don't know anything about it. Let's say a magazine, as you said earlier. A magazine, it's in a rectangular shape, like a book, but it is not a book, right? It has information about different brands, articles, stuff like that. You know that. Just slap in the articles or anything you've ever read. Slap in the ideas you've got. Put it all in one magazine and speak about it. For example, a brand you like, they released something recently, you can put it in the magazine. You can say that there is a brand, you like its magazines, they release it every month or something like that, right? It's gonna be easy for you.
I also exist.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's
Right.
fine. So let's go on. I'm going to ask you a question and you can answer that, right? Okay, let me ask you something unusual. Which country would you like to visit in the future?
Well, I'm really looking forward to visiting Dubai in the future, since my father has promised me he'd invite me there, and he's going for a business tour too. So I would like to visit Dubai, and mainly I like its beaches and all of those great museums, heights they've got. So I'm really looking forward to visiting Dubai.
Fantastic. Now, Adeen, I just noticed one thing. This answer was readily available. How come?
Well, that's because I don't know. It's like I can just fantasize it, or maybe I know the answers. That if you ask a question, it's not supposed to be the truth, right? It can be fake as well. So
Yeah,
I
you can
just
call it,
made
instead of using the word fake, I think you should say you can pretend it.
Yeah.
You can pretend an answer. Okay. So, I want you to tell my subscribers, I mean, they're not my subscribers, they are my family. We
yes,
are one
exactly.
big YouTube family. We've got around 800,000 subscribers now. So, tell them how to achieve fluency. because you speak very fast and fluently. So how to achieve fluency in your language?
For fluency, you should try to speak more and more. Listen, when you speak to yourself, when you speak alone, you realize that you can speak better than you speak in front of people. So continue that. Speak to yourself at night before bed or whenever you're alone. So people don't think you're stupid, right? So speak to yourself and also speak to people. Continue both these things. So when you speak to yourself, you realize what you lacked when you were speaking to other people. And when you speak to other people, you realize what you know already when you speak to yourself. That's how
Okay.
you can do that, right?
All right. In IELTS speaking, one of the criteria is pronunciation,
Yeah.
or we also call it fluency. Sorry, we call it accent.
Yeah.
Accent or pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
By the way, accent doesn't matter, but the way you pronounce the words
That matters.
that really matters. So, how to improve pronunciation? Because you know, when you were small, I still remember the way I taught you English. You don't speak English like that, right?
Yeah.
You speak English in a different way. So, how did you develop this accent or this style of speech?
Well, ever since I've been growing up, I've been watching TV shows and movies just like the rest of us nowadays. So whenever characters speak about something, a word I had never heard or something I was unsure about, think about it. There is no word that you know and you think you have the perfect pronunciation for it. So if you're confused, just open your phone, go up to Google, search it up and hear it, whatever it stands for, and then repeat that word, how you say it. There are many words that you think are pronounced this way, but they're pronounced this way. You're never sure about it, right? And you're never sure about things. So when you're watching movies and a character says something you're unfamiliar with, a word you've heard for the first time, or something you didn't know already, you have to repeat it to yourself. You have to listen to that word in your mind. That will echo in your mind the way he said it. Notice the way I am speaking. Look at my mouth. You have to say the words like that. Just go over to a mirror, say the words, and see how you're saying it, so you don't have to repeat the same mistakes.
Okay, this is fantastic.